Welcome to Everyone's Talking Money, where we get brutally honest about money, mindset, and making life richer. I loved my conversation with Stephanie Sefrin on Tuesday about minimalism and being more intentional with your purchases, which is why I wanted to talk to you today about the saying, buy it right or buy it twice, and what it really means. Have you ever stood in the return line at Target thinking, why do I keep doing this? Or looked around your house and thought, how do I spend this much and still feel like I have nothing that lasts? Maybe you've opened your closet, stared at 30 different black tops, and somehow still felt like you had nothing to wear. Or you scroll through your Amazon order history and go, I don't even use this stuff anymore. And you wonder where your money actually goes. Welcome to the paradox of modern spending, my friends. We have never had more access to options, deals, flash sales, and one-click purchasing, and yet somehow we're still chasing that elusive feeling of worth it. We are drowning in stuff, but starving for satisfaction. I'm Shari, and this is Everyone's Talking Money, the podcast where we decode the emotional side of your wallet and help you build a money mindset that actually serves your life. I am not here to tell you to stop buying lattes, give up your subscription boxes, or Marie Kondo your life down to a single spoon. I'm here to help you spend smarter, not harder. And today we are diving deep into one of my favorite mantras, buy it right or buy it twice. And I'm not going to lie, although it's one of my favorite, I still have a hard time following it. So you are not alone. But here's what I want you to really understand. This isn't some minimalist manifesto or a call to spend your way into debt on quote unquote investment pieces. This is about intentionality over impulse, strategy over shame, and building a spending philosophy that actually aligns with real life. So what does buying it right actually mean? When does spending more genuinely save you money in the long run? And when is cheap not just fine, but actually the smarter, more strategic move? We're going to break down all of this today. Because here's the thing, and I need you to really hear this. This conversation isn't about perfection. It's about curation. It's about treating your money and your purchasing decisions with the same intentionality you'd bring to curating an art collection or planning a dinner party. Your money deserves better than being wasted on regret buys, impulse additions to cart, and that weird shopping trance we all fall into sometimes. We're going to talk about how to build a spending strategy that blends value and values, where you're confidently investing in what truly matters to your life and giving yourself full permission to go cheap when something just doesn't warrant the splurge. I'm going to share stories from my own buying mistakes because trust me, my household has mastered the art of buying it twice. And I'm going to give you a practical, shame-free framework to spend with genuine confidence. Buckle up, because by the end of this episode, you'll have a clear, actionable system for making purchasing decisions that you'll actually feel good about 6 months or 6 years from now. So what does buy it right or buy it twice actually mean? Let's get something crystal clear from the start. This phrase is absolutely not a war cry for maximalism or permission to blow your budget on everything. I am definitely not saying you need to spend top dollar on every single item that enters your life. That's a recipe for financial disaster. And honestly, it's just not how real life works. Buying it right doesn't always mean buying the most expensive version. It means buying what will serve you the longest and best. Whether that's because it's genuinely high quality, expertly made, perfectly suited to your actual lifestyle or simply designed to handle exactly what you're going to put it through. When you buy it wrong because it was cheap and you knew better, because it was trendy and you got caught up, or because it was good enough and you convinced yourself to settle, what I am guilty of all the time, you often end up in this frustrating cycle. You replace it way sooner than you should, upgrade it because the first version disappointed you, or just resent it every time you have to use it. Let me share some examples from my own life because I'm not going to lie, my household is really good at buying it twice. And it's all in the name of saving a couple of bucks up front. And that's exactly why I'm so passionate about this topic, because I've personally wasted so much money buying the cheaper thing, grabbing what's on sale without thinking it through, or convincing myself that I can make something work when deep down, I knew I should have just spent a little bit more and been way happier in the end. This happens to me all the time with buying furniture. I know what I want. I do some research. Then I say, I'm not ready to spend that much money. I'll get this. It's fine. It'll work. It's good enough. And then guess what? It's not. And I end up hating the furniture, resenting it. And then I buy what I want in the end and I waste so much money. Here's a very basic example that I'm sure you all can relate to. And it still makes me shake my head at myself. I once bought a pair of black ankle boots, super cute, super cheap from one of those fast fashion retailers. I know they probably wouldn't last a full season, but hey, they were $40 and winter was almost over anyway. I convinced myself I was being smart and practical. Within a month, the soles started detaching. Not just a little separation, I'm talking full on flapping when I walked. How embarrassing. I had to buy another pair just to get me through the rest of winter. Then, because I hadn't learned my lesson yet, I bought another cheap fit pair the following fall. When I actually sat down and added up the cost of replacing them twice, plus the frustration, embarrassment, and time spent shopping for replacements, I realized I could have just bought the $120 pair that actually had proper arch support, real leather, and would have lasted multiple winters. Now, did I learn my lesson from this experience? Debatable. We've all done this dance with clothes that fall apart after 3 washes, with tech accessories that break the moment you actually need them, with kitchen appliances that seem like great deals that we saw on TikTok at 2 o'clock in the morning until they burn out after 6 months. And every single time we do this, we chip away at our confidence as consumers. We start second guessing our judgment, and honestly, we are literally throwing money away. But here's what I've realized. The buy it right mindset is about so much more than just avoiding the frustration of broken stuff. It's about reducing decision fatigue in your life. If you're constantly reevaluating and replacing your belongings, that's mental energy and emotional bandwidth you could be using elsewhere. And then also, if you're then getting mad at yourself for buying the cheaper thing and having to replace it, even more mental energy. As elder millennials, parents, professionals, caregivers, humans with approximately 6,000 tabs open in our brains at any given moment, we absolutely do not need more decisions to make. We need fewer, better ones. Think about it. Every time you have to replace something, you're not just spending money again, you're spending time researching options again, time shopping again, time returning the thing that didn't work, time dealing with the mental load of, I need to figure this out again. That's exhausting and it's completely avoidable. The buy it right philosophy is also about honoring your future self. When you make a thoughtful purchasing decision now, you're giving your future self the gift of not having to deal with this particular problem again anytime soon. You are investing in your own peace of mind. But, and this is crucial, that doesn't mean you should be paralyzed by every purchasing decision or feel guilty about the things that don't last forever. Life is messy, preferences change, and sometimes you genuinely don't know what you need until you try it. The goal isn't perfection, it's intention. So let's talk about where I believe you should not cut corners ever. These are your permission slips to spend wisely, even if that means spending more upfront. And I want you to really think of these as investments in your daily quality of life. These are not splurges or treats. They are necessities. The first place where you should always buy it right, shoes you wear regularly. Bad shoes will absolutely ruin your posture, your back, your feet, and sometimes your entire day. If you're walking in your weighted vest, commuting on public transportation, chasing kids around playgrounds, or just running the endless errands of adult life, invest in pairs that will support you properly and last long term, especially ones you can throw in the washer and they look just as good as new. Let me tell you about my relationship with rainbow sandals. And this is not an ad, just pure personal experience. I was introduced to them the summer before my junior year of high school by a friend whose older sister swore by them. I am now, unfortunately, 2 decades out of high school, and I've purchased exactly 5 pairs of rainbows in those 20 years. That means, on average, my rainbows have lasted 4 years each, and I wear my flip flops all the time. And in reality, that average would have actually been longer, but my lovely teething puppy Flash Rash was the reason I had to replace my 4th pair earlier than expected. That's what I mean by cost per use. Those sandals have carried me through college, early career, pregnancy, new motherhood, and everything in between. They've been to beaches, hiking trails, grocery stores, and countless summer barbecues. The upfront costs felt significant because they're not cheap. When I was a broke college student, it hurt to spend that amount of money on flip flops, but the value over time has been incredible. The second place where you should always buy it right, bras and underwear. Having good undergarments makes you look and feel just that much better. That inexpensive shirt from Walmart looks that much better when you have the right undergarments on. That $9 bralette might look cute on the hanger, but if you're tugging at it all day, spilling out of it, or watching it completely lose its shape after 3 washes, what's the actual point? You're going to end up replacing it anyway, plus you'll be uncomfortable the entire time you're wearing it. Spend more for pieces that fit your body properly and feel good to wear, and replace them when it's time for them to be replaced. This isn't about having the fanciest lingerie collection. It's about basic comfort and support for things you wear literally all day, every day. The third place you should buy it right, mattresses and pillows. Sleep affects everything in your life. Your mood, your productivity, your health, your relationships, your ability to make good decisions. It all starts with getting quality rest. You spend roughly a third of your life in bed. If your sleep quality is suffering because your mattress doesn't support your spine, or your pillows are leaving you waking up and feeling like you wrestled with an angry octopus all night, you are setting yourself up for problems in every other area of your life. A good mattress and supportive pillows are not treats or luxuries. This is a direct investment in your physical and mental health. Find what works for your body: firmness, support level, cooling technology, allergen free materials, whatever you need, and buy it. Your future self will thank you every single morning, and your wallet may be saving money because you're no longer having to go to the chiropractor every week to work out that kink in your neck. The next place to splurge, kitchen tools you use daily. If you cook regularly at home, and I hope you do, because we all know how I feel about delivery fees by this point in our relationship, having quality tools makes the difference between cooking feeling like a chore and actually enjoying the process. That one knife you grab for everything, that pan you fry your eggs in every morning, that cutting board you use for meal prep, make them count. A good chef's knife and a solid non-toxic pan will make you feel like a domestic goddess, even when you're just scrambling eggs on a busy Tuesday morning. Also, this is where you can align your spending with your values. Want to avoid microplastics in your food? Nervous about nonstick coatings? Trying to reduce your environmental impact? Do your research and put your money where your mouth is or where your food goes. The next place to buy it right? Work technology. Your laptop, camera, microphone, monitor, whatever tools help you earn a living, create content, manage your business, or just organize your family's digital life, these are absolutely not the places to be cheap. You're running your life and possibly your entire career with these tools. Think about how much time you spend on your computer every day. If it's slow, unreliable, or constantly frustrating you, that's affecting your productivity and honestly, your sanity. The time you waste dealing with tech problems is the time you could be spending on literally anything else. Anything with safety implications, you need to buy it right. Car seats, bike helmets, smoke detectors, security systems, quality locks. Skimping on safety equipment just doesn't make sense, ever. You are not being frugal and responsible when you buy the cheapest version of safety equipment. You're being reckless with things that actually matter. This extends to things like good lighting for stairs, non-slip mats for bathtubs, and proper tools for home maintenance. Some things are just not worth the risk. And lastly, spend your money on items you use multiple times daily. This is my catch-all category for anything that gets heavy, regular use in your life. Your coffee maker, if you're a daily coffee drinker, your phone charger, your work bag, the water bottle you carry everywhere, your go-to skin products. When something is part of your daily routine, reliability becomes incredibly important. The frustration of dealing with something that breaks or doesn't work properly when you need it most is worth avoiding. Now let's talk about where you can absolutely guilt-free go cheap. And I need you to hear me on this. These are definitely items where going cheap is not just acceptable, it's actually the smarter, more strategic move. The first place we're going to buy it cheap, trendy clothing. If it's a neon crop top you're going to wear once to a concert or trying out a trend you're not so sure about, don't feel guilty about buying it from a budget retailer. We are the generation that grew up with Forever 21 after all. Just don't expect these pieces to be timeless, durable, or suitable for your capsule wardrobe. The key here is being honest about your intentions. If you know this is a one-season experiment, budget accordingly. If you find yourself loving the style and wanting it to last, then consider investing in a higher quality version. Next, go cheap on the seasonal and holiday decor. You're not passing down your Easter wreath to your grandchildren. It's cute for this year. Dollar Tree, Target's seasonal selection, or even Amazon will absolutely do the job. If you don't have storage space and plan to donate or give these items away after the season, there is no reason to spend a fortune. I love refreshing my space with seasonal touches, but I've learned to be realistic about what's actually worth keeping versus what's just fun in the moment. Go cheap on greeting cards and gift bags. This is honestly a financial hill I am willing to die on. Greeting cards and gift bags are ridiculously expensive for what they are. We're talking $7 for a card that someone's just going to read once and either toss it or feel guilty about throwing it away because they know you just spent $7 on it. If you don't save and reuse gift bags, I'm just going to start calling you Daddy Warbucks because between the card and the bag, you're probably spending 25 to 50% of the actual gift's value on the packaging alone. Buy a pack of cards at TJ Maxx, hit up the dollar store, or here's another idea. Buy some beautiful notepads or blank cards and write your own messages. That's way cheaper than Hallmark, and it's actually more personal and meaningful. Another place to go cheap, baby and toddler clothes. They're going to wear it for 3 weeks before it's either too small or covered in something unspeakable. Seriously, the amount of money people spend on baby clothes that get worn maybe a dozen times, if that, is mind-boggling. Get secondhand, shop consignment sales, or buy budget-friendly basics. Ask your friends for hand-me-downs. They would be delighted, trust me, to give you a bag of clothes. They'll get joy from seeing your baby wear their baby's clothes. Your baby doesn't care if the onesie came from Zara or Target or was lovingly worn by another baby first. Save your money for things that can actually impact their development and safety. Or redirect the money to a 529 savings account. Go cheap on costume jewelry and accessories. For fun seasonal pieces or statement earrings you'll wear a few times a year, go cheap, go bold, go trendy. There is no need to invest in quality materials for pieces that are purely for fun or occasional wear. I love having a collection of inexpensive earrings and necklaces that I can experiment with without worrying about losing or damaging them. And I also don't feel bad when I give them away after just a few wears. Another place to buy it cheap: party supplies and paper goods. You are not Martha Stewart planning a wedding. You're trying to get through a birthday party without anyone having a meltdown, and that includes you. Buy basic supplies in neutral colors that can work with any theme. And here's a pro tip: skip the individual water bottles at parties. They're always half drank and end up being a total waste of money and trash. Put out pitchers or large water dispensers instead. Lastly, go cheap on experimental purchases. When you're trying something new, a hobby, a workout routine, a cooking technique, start cheap. Don't invest in the premium version of something until you know you're actually going to stick with it. Expensive yoga equipment before realizing you prefer running? Invested in fancy art supplies that are now gathering dust? We've all been there. Start with budget options and upgrade if and when you know you're committed. So now let's talk about the tricky middle ground. Items that don't neatly fall into the splurge or save columns. This is what I call the blend zone, and navigating it successfully is where the real art of smart spending comes in. First, handbags. Your everyday bag, the one that carries your laptop, water bottle, kids' snacks, and the 17 random things you somehow accumulate. Yes, absolutely invest in that. It's working hard for you every single day, and you need it to be reliable, comfortable, and durable. So does that mean you go out and buy the designer purse? Maybe. It easily is going to last decades for you. And you could end up spending less money over that same period of time for that bag that you carried every single day for 10 years versus buying a cheap bag that you had to replace every year or so. Do the math. Think about cost per use. But that cute clutch for weddings and date nights, the one you use maybe 6, 10 times a year, go spend the $25 at a boutique or even Amazon and call it a win. Same goes for seasonal bags or trendy styles you want to try out. The next place to blend strategy and style: workout clothes. High-performing leggings you're going to wear for actual workouts, running, yoga, those are worth investing in. Good sports bras are absolutely worth the splurge because cheap ones are basically useless and they can be downright painful. But the rest: tank tops for lounging, hoodies for grocery runs, shorts for walking the dog. You can absolutely find great options at Target, Old Navy, or Amazon. The key is being honest about how you're actually going to use each piece. The next expense that falls into the gray zone: home decor. This is where it gets really personal and depends entirely on your lifestyle and priorities. If you know your dog is going to track mud through the house and jump on the furniture, maybe investing in that expensive rug isn't the smartest move right now. But if there's a piece that you know you'll love for years, maybe a statement light fixture or a beautiful piece of art, that might be worth saving for. I personally splurge on art because it brings me genuine joy every time I see it. And I know I won't get tired of pieces I truly love. For things like throw pillows, seasonal blankets, or trendy accessories that I might want to swap out next year, I go budget friendly and I don't feel guilty about it. The next category that falls into the gray zone, outdoor furniture. If your idea of being outdoorsy is drinking wine on the porch, you host regular gatherings, or you spend a lot of time on your patio or deck, invest in furniture that can handle the weather and heavy use. But if you just dabble in outdoor entertaining, you're renting, you're not sure how long you'll be in your current space, secondhand or budget friendly options make perfect sense. When you're looking for outdoor furniture, make sure the cushions zip off so you can throw them in the washer and put them back on. That's another way you can make your furniture last even longer. The next area to blend strategy and style, your technology accessories. Since you use your phone constantly, dropping it can be expensive. It is worth investing in good protection. But the cute phone stand for your desk or the decorative charging station, budget options work just fine. The rule of thumb for everything in the blend zone, consider cost per use. The more often you'll use something, the more it's worth investing in. If it's rare, occasional, or you're not sure about your commitment level, cheap is absolutely fine. So, how to build your personal spending filter? How do you actually live this buy it right mindset without overthinking every single purchase decision or feeling guilty when you do end up buying the cheap thing and it didn't work out? This isn't about over analyzing every dollar or creating a complicated system that you'll abandon after a week. It's about creating a mental filter, a decision-making framework you can apply quickly and confidently whenever you are about to spend money. Think of it like having really good lighting in your closet. When you flip the switch, you immediately see what fits, what doesn't, what belongs, and what needs to go. That's what we're building for your spending decisions. So step one of building your personal spending filter, the 24-hour pause. This sounds almost too simple, but it's incredibly powerful. Before you swipe, tap, or click buy now, just pause and ask yourself, is this solving a real problem or filling an actual gap in my life? Or am I just looking for a dopamine hit because I had a stressful day and Instagram served me an ad exactly at the wrong moment? So many impulse purchases come from emotional discomfort, not genuine need. You're stressed, tired, bored, or avoiding something else. And suddenly that $38 water bottle you definitely don't need looks like the key to becoming your best self, your best hydrated self, I should say. Build in a buffer. Add things to your cart and walk away, literally and figuratively. If you're shopping in person, carry the item around the store with you before heading to checkout. Take a picture and give yourself 24 hours. If it's still calling to you after some time has passed, move to the next step. Or if you're shopping online, add things to your cart and then wait a day before checking out. If you forget about what's in your cart, obviously, you didn't need or really want what you are about to just buy. Or another trick, if a spouse or partner or friend questions you of, do you really need that? Or was that a good purchase? That tells you all you need right there. Check yourself, ask yourself, give yourself 24 hours. Step 2, the cost per use test. Let's do some quick math. A $150 blazer that you'll wear 30 times over the next 2 years, that's $5 per wear. Probably worth it. A $40 sequined mini dress that you'll wear once and then feel too old for it, that's $40 per wear and a prime candidate for consignment or borrowing from a friend. This test works wonders for shoes, jackets, bags, and home goods. That $200 Dyson hair tool that you'll use 5 times a week for the next 3 years, I'd say that's worth it. That $35 specialty kitchen gadget you'll use twice and then forget about, maybe not so much. Step 3 of how to build your personal spending filter, the full price reality check. Sales are specifically designed to short circuit your rational brain. Red stickers, countdown timers, limited time offers, they create artificial urgency and make you panic purchase. Here's your gut check moment. If this item was full price right now or double the cost, would you still want it? If the answer is no, then you don't actually love the product, you love the deal. And buying something just because it's cheap isn't saving you money, it's wasting it. And that is something I need to tell myself over and over and over again. Step 4, define your non-negotiables. Identify the 3 areas where your money is always allowed to stretch without guilt. These are your spending non-negotiables, the categories you value so deeply that they're always worth the investment. For me, it's quality skincare, comfortable shoes, and travel experiences with my family. I won't skimp on these because they directly support my confidence, health, and most important, relationships. For you, maybe it's therapy sessions, organic groceries, or art supplies. The point is to own what matters to you, not what looks impressive to other people. And step 5, remember that value isn't just mathematical. Money, like I say all the time, is math and emotion coming together. That $12 lipstick that makes you feel powerful and confident might deliver more value than a $200 handbag that doesn't fit your lifestyle. Value is emotional and practical, and it's not just about the price tag. You don't need to justify your choices if they genuinely support your values, your confidence, or your daily quality of life. The real win is spending money in a way that feels aligned with who you are and with who you are becoming. Here's what I hope you take away from today's conversation. You don't have to buy everything right, and you don't have to buy everything cheap. The win is in the intention, the alignment, and the confidence that your money is working towards a life that feels good to live, not just one that looks good on social media. Buying better is about feeling empowered and informed. It's about knowing yourself, your actual habits, your real priorities, your emotional triggers around spending. It's about building a purchasing strategy that supports the version of yourself you're growing into, not the one trying to keep up with everyone else's highlight reel. You absolutely deserve to have nice things. But more importantly, you deserve to have the right things for your actual life. And sometimes the right thing is a $9 Target t-shirt. Other times it's a $250 pair of boots that will serve you faithfully for many years to come. Either way, the power and the peace of mind come from making that decision intentionally. Remember, money should be a tool that helps you live your life on your terms. And learning to curate your purchases thoughtfully, that's one of the best places to start building that kind of financial confidence. If you loved today's episode, please follow Everyone's Talking Money on your favorite podcast app so you never miss new content. Leave me a quick rating and review. It genuinely helps more women find their path to financial confidence. Keep the conversation going on Instagram at Everyone's Talking Money. I want to hear, what's one thing you splurged on that you have zero regrets about? Or what's your biggest buy it twice mistake? Share your stories. We are all learning from each other. Until next time, spend intentionally and remember, your money is a tool, not a scorecard.